Let's answer the question of how long should you stick with a niche for. Now, as a hypnotherapist, a coach, and NLP, we should all know the importance of just having one niche. So the question comes down to like, how long should you stick with it in order to see some sort of results or know when to change it? Well, this is a pretty loaded question, and it always comes down to a couple of things. One of the worst things you can do, guys, when it comes to picking your niche and sticking with it is get too emotional about it. And what I mean by this is, I see a lot of therapists, a lot of coaches, a lot of hypnotherapists that will change niches based on how they feel each day or what they see in the industry happening, or they find a hypnotherapist who they want to be like or how successful they are, and they change their niche according to that person's niche. And this is a lot of emotional decisions. One bad thing about emotions in business, it can cause a lot of bad decisions. So you definitely don't want to be looking at changing your niche based on your emotions. Another big thing is you got to be really honest with yourself. Most hypnotherapists and coaches do not go to the absolute extent to get a niche to work. Now, to get a niche to work, it's not just a matter of fact of doing like one live per week, a couple of organic outreach messages, maybe a couple of YouTube videos, couple of Instagram lives per month, and then expecting this big flood of clients to come in. We've got to realize there's a lot of competition in this market. There's a lot of hypnotherapists and coaches that are starting the same time as you in the same sort of niches. And it's your goal, whether you believe it or not, or a lot of people are going to argue when I say this because I say this is not true. You've got to outgrind your competition. You have to be omnipresent. You have to be everywhere. If you expect your business to grow as a hypnotherapist or a coach, you essentially have to do more than everybody else. Business is just inputs and outputs. So what I recommend is, if you do want a concrete statement here, for the next 30, 60, even 90 days, you want to be like an absolute psychopath when it comes to doing your social media in regards to getting people seeing what you do, getting your message out there, being omnipresent across every social media platform possible, and do more than everybody else. At the end of that 90 days, if you can look back and say, yes, I've done absolutely everything possible, I put my heart and soul into this and it's still not working, then change your niche. And this is very rare. Most hypnotherapists and coaches underestimate how much work they have to do in regards to social media and marketing when it comes to the niche and comes to growing the business. So don't change your niche based on emotion. Always go to the extent of doing absolutely everything possible that you can think of more consistently than everybody else. Then look at the data, look at the feedback. One last point I want to make is you definitely don't want to change your niche based on what someone tells you, or even go into a new niche based on what your friends and family say you're good at. Or even worse, if a coach, a therapist, or a mentor tells you what niche to go into, don't listen. A lot of my students will say, Scott, what niche should I go into? What would you recommend? And my answer is always this: I haven't done the research, and all I'm going to be doing is guessing. And my guess is as good as yours. Always go to the research, guys. So if you're looking at changing your niche, looking at getting into a new niche, follow those rules, and it should be pretty simple.